C5 Corvette is an awesome car right out of the gate. It looks awesome, sounds amazing, has plenty of power, and it's a burnout machine. With all of that being said, it is 20 plus years old at this point and could benefit greatly from just a few immediate upgrades. If you've picked up a relatively stock example of a C5 Corvette, chances are it has the factory C5 wheels still on it, disgusting, or it has some C6 replicas. Neither are good options. A C5 Corvette with bad wheels is like one of those chicks in those 90s movies where she's real ugly to start. But you know, once you take off her glasses and you do her hair a little bit, she's real hot and then becomes the prom queen. It's like there's a ton of potential in there, but you just gotta make one small change, right? Unfortunately, the C5 Corvette has sort of an unusual bolt pattern that's not very well represented in the aftermarket wheel world, nor can it accommodate really aggressive offsets. So we're pretty limited for wheels in terms of off-the-shelf options. For that reason, I would reach out to Motorsports LA and they can hook you up with BC Forge, for example, and get you customized set of wheels that meet your exact specifications. Or for a more budget-friendly option, you could look at Forge Stars, for example. Motorsports LA is going to be able to help you out no matter what route you go. I'll put a link in the description below to their website. If you're swapping out wheels, chances are you're gonna have to upgrade the tires as well. C5 Corvettes are relatively lightweight and pretty torquey, so they need a good set of tires. Continental Extreme Contacts are a great overall tire. A little bit more on the expensive side, but if you are somebody that likes to daily drive your C5, chances are you're going to run into some inclement weather from time to time, and therefore you need a tire that can sort of handle all those situations. The Continental Extreme Contacts are going to be the perfect option for that scenario. Now, if you're somebody that doesn't really care about how much money they spend and they just want the absolute best tire and you drive mainly in warm, dry conditions, then obviously the Michelin Pilot Sport PS4S's, like I got up there, are going to be a really good tire for the C5 in that type of scenario. More of a budget-friendly tire would be the Yokohama Advan Apex. I found that they work great on the Corvette. They're a little bit softer, so longevity might be something of a question. And they're a little limited on sizes. I know the wider you get, the more available those Yokohama Advan Apexes come. I had them in 325s for my C6 Grand Sport. Great tire, especially for the money. Okay, feel them now. Just get all up in there. I mean, you can just tell. Like, that's... The other ones felt like... tire. The other ones... I like that laugh. I mean,
seems right to me. Rubber.
They should last us at least 5,000 miles. Headlights, gotta upgrade immediately. Everybody loves the C5 flip-ups. That's classic Corvette, right? But if we're being honest, the headlights used on the C5 Corvette were never good. They don't do anything at night. Fortunately, there are a lot of LED options, whether you're going to try to maintain that factory look and just replace the factory headlights with an LED variation, or you could do something like the Night Drive TV Sleepy Eye LEDs, right? Looks super good, very, very sleek, more of a modern touch to a classic Corvette. Both really good options, and they're going to be practical and functional too, allowing you to actually drive the Corvette at night. The braking system is also something I would look at immediately, if not sooner. Chances are they're pretty crusty and they're lacking the confidence-inspiring characteristics that a Corvette deserves. A full overhaul would be ideal, going to the C6 big brakes, but if you're not somebody that wants to spend all that money, a simple upgrade to a good rotor, a good slotted rotor, and a more aggressive brake pad, it's going to make a night and day difference. You could take it a step further and do stainless steel braided brake lines, and don't forget to put in some fresh brake fluid. I go with like a Motul .5.1, a little higher boiling point, a little higher temperature, higher performance brake fluid. That combination is going to make a night and day difference in your C5 in terms of its stopping power and its resistance to brake fade. In this case, you're looking at a pretty significant braking upgrade for well under 800 bucks. Check the links in the description below for some options. Getting down now to the last two immediate upgrades that I would make to any C5 Corvette, I'm going to say exhaust. If you snagged a C5 Corvette with at least a catback system, you're probably okay, but if it's still got the stock system, it doesn't do that LS1 any justice, and the exhaust tips they put on those cars, just ugly. I mean, you wouldn't go to an Adele concert if she was singing in an insulated booth, 'cause, right? So why would you muffle an LS1? Get down now to the last two immediate upgrades that I would make to any C5 Corvette. I'm going to say exhaust. If you snagged a C5 Corvette with at least a catback system, you're probably okay, but if it's still got the stock system, it doesn't do that LS1 any justice, and the exhaust tips they put on those cars, just ugly. I mean, you wouldn't go to an Adele concert if she was singing in an insulated booth, right? So why would you muffle an LS1? ton of options out there, fortunately, from mild to aggressive. I personally had Cook's long tube headers back to Billy Boat bullets, and it sounded glorious. Aside from fresh fluids throughout, there is one more upgrade that I would address immediately. That, of course, is suspension. People knock the leaf spring setup, but if you actually understand it, it is really kind of a quite genius idea. Nevertheless, it is 20 years old at this point, and it's not performing as it was intended, and it needs to be upgraded. There are a number of coilover options for the C5 Corvette, but I tend to lean towards silvers for this particular platform with the super low upgrade. Not only will the C5 Corvette look nicer with its new stance, lowered and aggressive, it'll be much more nimble and planted to the road. This combination of wheels, tires, brakes, and suspension will be a game changer for your old C5 Corvette. It'll feel like a completely different animal on the road. Every additional upgrade that you make after this point will just be icing on the cake. Assuming the C5 Corvette is in great mechanical condition, what are the immediate upgrades you would suggest making? Let me know in the comments below. I'm always interested in hearing what your guys' input is. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Thank you very much for the support up to this point. There's more stuff coming for the channel, so hope you stick around and subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next one.